What is up, YouTube? Welcome back to the channel. Panda here, and today we are back on the referral account. We are roughly halfway through this process. We are on day 15. We're actually a decent ways through day 15. It's about 11 a.m. for me through day 15. So we've got about 6 hours until reset puts us into day 16. But overall, I just wanted to give you another update on the account just so you can kind of maybe see where you are, check your progress on your referral accounts and see if you're in roughly the same spot. Maybe you're a little ahead, maybe a little bit behind, but day 15 is roughly the halfway point. Like I said, this does take roughly 30 days. It can be a little bit faster, it can be a little bit shorter. It just kind of depends, but let's check out the account. So you'll see here we are 48% of the way through, 48% of the way through level 43, and we're doing not too shabby. We do still have 5 days of XP boost going on, which I don't believe XP boosts actually boost the account experience, but it is helpful for getting experience on other characters, which, as I said, I'm doing this account a little bit different than the more quote-unquote optimal way of doing a referral account, and that is because I am focusing on actually building out your first few champions, which gets me to the next stage. Let's look at the champions. You'll see one major difference on the account, and that is that we have a 6-star ultimate Death Knight. I wanted to make sure that I set whoever wins this account up in the best situation that I could. So you'll see that I have 6-star Ultimate Death Knight. In fact, he's almost level 58, which is a great point to be. Ultimate Death Knight, if you haven't seen some of the videos on him, he is probably one of the best login champions we've had in a while. Because he just does the early game, even into the late game, really so well. His skills are just fantastic. He's able to solo level 20 and even level 25 of every dungeon except Fire Knight, as far as I know. Maybe not Spider. I don't remember Spider for sure, but I know he can for sure solo Dragon, and he can for sure solo Ice Golem, which is just amazing. He's one of the best starter champions out there. So if you haven't already started the game, or you're planning on maybe making an alt account, definitely start within the next couple of days, because I believe we have until October 28th, I believe, is the day where you have to have hit your 7-day login or you don't get this champion. So if you start on October 23rd, you don't get him. If you start on October 21st, you'll get him. So that is the deadline. You've got a couple days to start any new accounts you want to start. Otherwise, you're not going to be getting Ultimate Death Knight. Which means, unfortunately, this is going to be the last giveaway account that does have an Ultimate Death Knight on it. At least for my referrals, because I'm not wanting to run more than one referral account at a time. It's too much hassle. I don't want to have to log into 12,000 accounts every day. So I'm only doing the one at a time, but maybe you'll be able to get a starter account with an Ultimate Death Knight, whether you win this giveaway or if you want to start an account now. To be honest, realistically, just make an account and log in for the next 7 days, and if you win this account, you don't have to worry about it. If you don't win this account, you can use the account you've already started on. So not a crazy difference, but this account is already off to a great start. Like I said, we do have that Kale. Obviously, he does have his masteries. His skills are maxed out. We have Ultimate Death Knight here, who I just put in a basic regeneration gear piece. I don't remember where I got these gear pieces from, but I just went ahead and leveled them all up to 16. They're not crazy, but they're pretty decent. They're pretty decent overall. And then we went ahead and put a defense percent glove on and a defense percent chest on, just to give him, some decent overall stats. I would say he's definitely not the best, but he should be in a good spot to start soloing some of the dungeons until you can get some better gear on him. But like I said, I'm not leveling gear. I'm not farming gear for you guys. I'm just going through and getting some starter stuff. Then we've got Aethar here. Again, he's just in a random assortment of gear. This is just because I wanted to have a little bit of extra stats for the early clan bosses that I've been doing to try and help you guys out when you do win this account. Same thing here with Farak and the Fat. We went a little bit further on him, and we actually did level the gear out. So we have these speed boots. We've got these plus 12 gloves and shield here, and we went ahead and just threw some kind of random other gear on just for those little bit of extra stats. So he's actually geared pretty decently. He's got some okay crit rates, some pretty terrible but not terrible, better than 0 basically accuracy to land that HP burn and poisons. And then we've got Venom Mage here, who I actually did invest a little bit in because we did actually do some gear crafting, and we did actually get relatively lucky, and actually had some pretty decent gear. These chest piece is only 3-star, but it is accuracy, and it completed the accuracy set, which we put defense on the gloves here just because it was a 5-star. Really terrible rolls, but it's fine. It's just the starter gear. But then we actually got some pretty decent rolls for perception pieces. So we got this one here, which speed and HP, which is great. This here with a triple crit rate, which is not terrible. We got this here with speed, crit rate, crit damage, and we got some speed boots with that extra HP and defense percent, which is definitely a good start for your Venom Mage, because your goal is just kind of to keep yourself alive and land as many poisons as possible. You'll see here we got 125 accuracy. Definitely not where we want to be, but it is a start, and some pretty decent speed, some okay survivability stats, and of course we've got that 56% crit rate, which definitely not bad to start with. But this is kind of the main team that we have here, is we just have Kale, Ultimate Death Knight, Aethar, Farak and the Fat, and Venom Mage, and that's going to be your clan boss team starting out. I don't think there's really anything better that you can get. This is a great starter team. You've got poisons and big nuke damage from Kale. You've got a lot of survivability from Ultimate Death Knight. He brings that attack down. He brings those amazing passives. He also brings shields and continuous heals, which is great. We've got Aethar here, who's got that poison skill, which is just super strong. Farak and the Fat brings the crit rate and crit damage buff, as well as an an ally attack. And he also has that HP burn with poisons on the A2 and the decreased defense on the A1. And then we've got Venom Mage, which brings the poisons and heal reduction, the defense down, and the attack down. And she will also nuke some of those poisons as well, meaning you have a lot of poisons, but you can burn them, and so you'll have more space to place more poisons. Now, really, we want her to hit that 3-star ascension for this 15% less damage taken, which means you survive longer. Same thing here. We want to get this passive. We want to get this awakened, so it's the 5% poisons. But like I said, I'm really not doing anything other than farming those stages for experience. So that's definitely something you guys will want to focus on, is getting the ascensions at least to a 3rd ascension once you guys do win this account, if you do win it. But overall, we've got a pretty strong clan boss start. We'll go ahead and run a clan boss to just kind of show you what that looks like. So I'll go ahead and just do an easy run just because it's pretty fast. This is kind of how I've been running, is with the accuracy lead. And actually, we can go ahead and I'll go ahead and throw together a... Or here, let's do this, take that out, throw that in. The rest doesn't really matter. We'll select this, and we actually can turn off some of the skills. So, for example, Aethar, this ability here, we actually don't really care if he uses that. This is okay. Let's see. We'll go ahead and have him open with this skill. We'll have him open with this skill. This doesn't really matter. We'll have her open with this skill, open with this skill. That should be fine. Nothing crazy. I might be totally wrong, but I'm just kind of letting it play through, and we're actually getting pretty decent scores for the account so far. We're able to 1-key easy and normal, which again, just Kale by himself is pretty much able to do that 1-key on easy, just because he's got poisons and he has those masteries, etc. This team will be a lot stronger when you get the 3rd 3rd Ascension, as well as get masteries on the rest of them. I definitely feel like getting masteries on Ultimate Death Knight will be probably the best option, the best course of action for this account once you do get to that point, followed probably pretty closely by either Farakin or Venomage. I'm not sure which one would be the better option out of those two, but I think Ultimate Death Knight is 100% the best choice for your next set of masteries, because he's just so good everywhere. He's going to give you more damage in Clan Boss, more survivability in Clan Boss. He's going to give you all of those dungeon clears, which is going to be very powerful. And then Farakin and Venomage. Farakin you definitely want because he's probably going to be in your Clan Boss team for the rest of the game, unless you get really lucky and you pull like an Infinity Shield comp, and eventually you'll use that in the late game. But Farakin the Fat is just so powerful in the early game, mid game, and late game of Clan Boss. And he's also going to be really good in helping you clear things like Fire Knight, because that ally attack allows you to burn through that shield very quickly. Lots of amazing things that Farakin the Fat can do, but Venomage might be slightly better. I know I use Venomage in my first iteration of a dragon team, and I'm actually still using her in my dragon team today, and she's also in one of my iterations of my Clan Boss team. So definitely a choice there. I kind of will leave that choice up to you guys on how you want to do that. But ultimately, I mean, I think that they're both great champions, and whichever you decide to do will be awesome. But yeah, guys, that's kind of where we are in terms of where the account is at. We've got a pretty solid start to the account. We've got some really lucky pulls from our early Sacred Shards, as well as, of course, just getting access to Ultimate Death Knight is amazing. So overall, we're in a very good spot. I'm going to keep doing easy and normal Clan Boss. We may move up to that next difficulty at some point, but the clan that we're in right now is not even able to clear normal, so nothing crazy. We may look into moving up to a better clan, so we can try and get that higher difficulty Clan Boss and see what we can do. But realistically, being able to just one key easy and normal is getting a nice, slow, but decent influx of materials and resources that way. So we may just stick to doing that for now, but we'll do kind of whatever the game will allow us to do and what we can get done. But guys, that is kind of where we are. I think this is probably going to be the last update for this account, because the rest of it, you're not going to really notice too many differences. You'll probably get maybe one more 6-star, and that's probably it. And I will probably just leave the food for you to decide, because I don't want a 6-star Farakin and then you decide that you wanted to get masteries on Venomage, for example. So Ultimate Death Knight was an obvious choice. We'll kind of see what the next best choice is, and we'll let you guys decide that. So I think that's probably going to be the last update to this account. So the next time you see this account in full is probably going to be when when we do the giveaway. So we might use this account for some small videos, I think we're going to use it for a Clan Boss guide on like the basics of Clan Boss, but other than that, I think that this is probably going to be primarily the last video you see of any content on this account until it's time to give it away. So if you guys liked this content, make sure to hit that like button and leave a comment down below on what your first Sacred Shard pull was. If you saw the most recent video, you probably saw that I got really lucky on this account, so I would say those are pretty good summons. But what was your first sacred pull, or what was your favorite pull? Maybe, yeah, whatever you guys want. And make sure to hit that subscribe button and the bell notification icon so you can be notified when my videos go live. And don't forget to check the description. We're leaving all sorts of really good links to different people, different resources, awesome Discords to join, including my own. So definitely go down there and check that out. But that's going to be it for me today, guys. I'll see you in the next one. Peace.